Good evening, I'm Judge Shayette, and you, sir?
Gilbert Martinez Gomez Jr.
Mr. Guy. Looks like they found some additional files for you. We have charges here from May the 5th, charging you with criminal trespass at 3125 North First, along with possession of paraphernalia. And then charges for possession of paraphernalia and criminal trespass on May the 9th at 4100 North First. That'll be $250. Video review will be on Friday. Your attorney may decide to move that court date based on the status of your felony, however. Your out-of-country date is June 23rd at 9:30 in the morning. Again, no alcohol and drugs. You don't go back to 3125 North First or 4100 North First. And I suggest you not discuss the matter with anyone other than your attorney.
Who is my attorney?
Your attorney on this matter is Mr. Huerta. With all of your other city court matters. All right, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you already thought this. Okay. But all on that.
You are
Rachel Louise Johnson, Your Honor.
Ms. Johnson. I
Yes.
have citations here from March the 4th, the day that you went into custody, charging you with criminal trespass at 2634 North First. There's also a failure to appear, but that's because someone.
I was already sentenced on that, I believe, Your Honor.
No,
I was sentenced on the 22nd,
no.
and I'm supposed to be leaving Thursday after 30 days. The judge sentenced me, Judge Constantine.
Not on this matter. That would be on a Superior Court matter. This is a city court matter.
Yes, ma'am.
There are also charges from that same date for criminal trespass, possession of paraphernalia, and possession of prescription-only drugs. That's just so that you have a Superior Court matter holding you. Let me look at this one more place.
Yes, ma'am. The ARC has a bed ready for me to go to rehab for 30 days and then 60 days after that.
Your next court date's going to be July the 18th at 9 o'clock in the morning. Tucson City Court.
Yes, ma'am.
Like the City Public Defender's Office to represent you. No alcohol or illegal drugs. You can buy by the terms of probation. You don't go back to 3665 North Oracle or 2634 North First.
Yes, Your Honor.
In residential treatment, the Public Defender's Office should be aware of that, and they will handle the matter. If you're out of custody, you need to appear.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson.
Thank you.
Hello.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Christopher James Swank.
Mr. Swank. I have warrants here out of Marana City Court. Let me look at them.
Sit.
It looks like you've been in custody for about 10 days. 12 days.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the status of that? What's the status of that matter?
I went to court Friday. I was told that I was supposed to be released that day, and I'm still here, ma'am. The best explanation I got was that there were no holds and I had a bond, and that's the best explanation I got.
Well,
I contacted my lawyer earlier today. He said that he would get with the judge and everything, and that I should be getting out tonight or tomorrow. And
who is that attorney?
Travis, I don't know what's going on.
Well, if you'll let me, I will tell you what's going on.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. The problem is that you also have warrants out of Marana
Mhm.
that have not been addressed.
Okay.
I have charges here from March 19th of this year for shoplifting, possession of paraphernalia here on April the 22nd. And then again, perhaps, well, you might have been in custody then. And that explains why there was no warrant, because the second failure to appear was after you were in custody. And unfortunately, they didn't check to see if you were in custody. We have additional charges from March the 19th, possession of paraphernalia, failing to appear on April the 9th, and then charges from February the 7th for shoplifting and possession of paraphernalia, failing to appear on March the 12th. Janet Altschuler was appointed to represent you on these charges. Bond will be $250. Next court date will be on Wednesday at about noon. No alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to return to the incident location. And I'm noting that you've been in custody since May the 7th.
Okay. Ma'am, I have no way of posting a bond. I don't have any friends or family or anything.
Well, you'll talk to your attorney about that. Your court date's in less than 2 days. All right, thank you. Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you are
Chelsea Davis.
public defender in there yet or not yet?
No.
Rodriguez, take care. Jeff. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Judge Carter Santini here for the accused.
All right.
Chelsea. I've heard Santini.
Oh, me too. It's working.
Oh.
So,
Ms. Davis, I have a warrant here out of Pima County Superior Court charging you with unlawful use of means of transportation, possession of paraphernalia, possession of narcotic drug, driving under the influence of intoxicating liquor or drugs,
okay.
under the influence of alcohol, drugs, or combination thereof, or metabolites.
Oh.
Will appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. Set an arraignment date for May 27th at 1:30. And did either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions?
Your Honor, I would just note she's being held in custody on, I believe, a $2,500 bond for the 2022 Justice Court matter that's referenced on the face sheet of pretrial's report. So the state believes, based on the nature of the charges, the $500 bond listed on the warrant for this matter is appropriate.
And Judge, I'm in agreement with the state on that.
All right. Bond will be $500. If you post the bond, you'll be released to pretrial services on these charges. You've still got the other bond. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no contact with alleged victims. All right. Thank you, Ms. Davis.
Thank you.
Just a question. There you
Well,
have one more.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you are?
Sean Roman.
Mr. Roman. Interim complaint charged with aggravated assault on a corrections officer. Will appoint legal defender's office to represent you on these charges. And did either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions of release?
Your Honor, I requested the higher bond of $25,000, even though he's in custody on the arson matter. given the criminal history, and this isn't the type of situation where somebody spat on someone or, pushed somebody. We're talking about an individual who charged another inmate and then ended up kicking the CO in the face.
And Judge, I just asked for a more reasonable bond, noting that any bond he would be unable to pay.
It'll be preliminary hearing date will be May 29th. Bond will be $15,000. Pretrial services if the bond is posted. Need to abide by all previous conditions of release. No contact with the alleged victims. And I'd suggest you not discuss the matter with anyone except your attorney. Thank you, Mr. Roman.
You guys got the same shoes on.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir,
Vince Ramon, Your Honor.
are Mr. Roman. Interim complaint charging you with promoting prison contraband. We'll appoint Jesse Delaney to represent you on these charges, and did either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions of release?
Your Honor, I would just note that he had what he called himself a cutting device, but said he used it for food in addition to the tattoo equipment, all of which are, not only, dangerous objects, but also hazardous to other inmates in the facility. So that's why we're requesting $10,000 bond.
Judge, we'd just be asking for a more reasonable bond, seeing as he's in custody on other charges.
Well, hearing date's May 29th at 1:30. Bond is $7,500. If you post the bond, you'll be issued to pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Hold on. Disregard. I need to. Wrong folder got pulled up. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. And what bond amount did I give you a moment ago?
7,500, Judge.
No, I don't believe it was 500.
7,500.
7,500. Okay.
7,500.
That's what I thought. All right. That bond will remain. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Select. Sure.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you are.
Alan Acevedo.
Mr. Acevedo, interim complaint charges witness tampering and attempted fraud schemes. We'll appoint Jesse Delaney to represent you on these charges, and did either counsel wish to be heard on further on conditions?
Your Honor, I would just note he's pending the BB, the kidnap and ag assault case. And in each one of these recordings, I would imagine he's already put on notice that everything's recorded. And he's essentially, attempting to sway the victim in that, related matter. So the state feels, given the circumstances, the $10,000 bond's appropriate.
Anything?
And Judge,
Go ahead.
we just be asking for a nominal bond given the PO holds.
I would also note that Mr. Acevedo, on January the 27th, was ordered not to have any contact with Ms. Scarborough.
Correct.
No contact includes phone calls. It includes any contact or communication except through legal counsel. Do you understand that?
Judge, I'll advise him to remain silent.
I just want to be sure that he understands it. That's all. Because the state may well have some additional charges as a result of the contact. Bond is $10,000. Preliminary hearing date's May 29th at 1:30. Thank you, Mr. Acevedo.
Delaney eventually, yeah.
Your Honor, it's the jail. Defense Aaron has refused. Yes.
All right, we'll continue him till morning. Good evening, I'm Judge Fayette, and you are.
Oh, your name?
Oh, Sharika Lacole Skinner.
Skinner, I have an interim complaint here charging you with domestic violence and aggravated harassment. Alleged occurred on or about the 24th of April. Will appoint legal defender's office to represent you on these charges. And did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
Your Honor, we're requesting the higher bond, given felony probation and the 3 pending DV matters, all of which involve the same victim as well as the nature of the.
Judge, we just asked for a nominal bond given that there is a probation hold.
Preliminary hearing date is May 29th at 1:30. Bond will be $15,000. Absolutely no contact with Mr. Bishop. You're not to go near his residence. Comply with behavioral health and substance abuse assessment. Treatment is available while you're in custody or under the direction of pretrial services if you're released to their custody. Other than in the course of those assessments and treatments, I'd suggest you don't discuss this matter with anyone except your attorney. Thank you, Ms. Skinner. Jim. The Johnson file? Where?
Okay. Hey, Mr. Bishop.
I want to copy that minute you do it. Because Halen, and I should have caught that. Good evening. I'm Judge Fayette, and you, sir, are
David Straub.
Mr. Straub. Interim complaint charging you with narcotic drug sales. Alleged to have occurred between February 13th and March the 3rd of this year. We'll appoint Bobby Berry to represent you on these charges. Did either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions?
Your Honor, we could be requesting the no bond. When looking at the date of offenses, it looks like he would have been not only on felony release, but also felony probation. But we're opting to request the court impose a $15,000 bond in lieu of a no bond.
He has a PO hold, Judge, so we're just asking for a nominal bond.
Bond is $15,000 in lieu of a no bond hold. No alcohol or illegal drugs. I'd suggest you not discuss this matter with anyone except your attorney. Thank you, Mr. Straub.
How you doing, sir?
Yes. Thank you.
Juan. ¿Hablas inglés o solamente español? Okay. Pienso que tenemos un interpreter. Do we have the interpreter on the line?
That's what I was.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Oh, hi there, Annie.
Good. 'Cause
Yes.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are.
Buenas noches. Hola, juez Shaden. ¿Cuál es su nombre, señor?
Luis Valencia.
Luis Valencia.
Mr. Valencia, I have an interim complaint here charging you with aggravated domestic violence and domestic violence aggravated harassment, alleged to have occurred on or about the 21st of April.
Señor Valencia, tengo aquí una queja interina y lo acusan a usted de cargos de violencia doméstica con agravantes, cargos de violencia doméstica con agresión y acosamiento que parece que sucedieron alrededor del 21 de abril.
Will appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and if either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions.
Vamos a nombrar a la oficina del defensor público para que lo defienda a usted contra estos cargos. Ahora le preguntan si alguno de los abogados tiene algo que decir con respecto a esto.
Your Honor, we're requesting $25,000 with pretrial services. He is on 2 DV probations, and there's a pending DV case all involving the same victim.
One moment, please. Su señoría, dice la fiscalía, su señoría, estamos solicitando una fianza de $25,000 con condiciones previas al juicio del Departamento de Previas al Juicio. Él anteriormente tiene 2 órdenes de libertad a prueba, también por casos de violencia doméstica, y también tiene otros casos de violencia doméstica y todo pendientes. Y todo esto tiene que ver con la misma víctima.
And Your Honor, he does have the ICE hold, and in light of that, the state doesn't or believes that a time credit bond is definitely not appropriate given the circumstances.
Y su señoría, aparte de esto, también tiene una orden de retención del Departamento de Inmigración y Administración de Control de Aduanas, y también el Estado no considera que puede darse una fianza para que le comiencen a dar crédito por el plazo que tiene estado o que tiene detenido. Entonces, definitivamente consideramos que no se le debe dar una fianza.
That's all I had, Your Honor.
Eso es todo lo que tengo que decir, su señoría.
In Your Honor, we'd be asking for a more reasonable bond of $1,100, noting that he has lived in Tucson for 22 years and is employed, and he has no felony convictions and no history of any kind before June of this year, last year.
Su señoría, y nosotros estamos solicitando que le dé una fianza mucho más pequeña de $1,100 porque él ha estado aquí viviendo en Tucson ya por 23 años. Él está empleado, él no tiene ninguna condena por felonías, no tiene ningún antecedente, sino hasta junio de este año, no, perdón, sino hasta junio del año pasado.
Preliminary hearing date's May the 29th. Bond is $15,000. Pretrial services.
Bien.
Go ahead.
Bien, entonces voy a fijar la fecha para la audiencia preliminar para el 20 de mayo. Voy a imponer una fianza. It was $15,000, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Una fianza por $15,000.
You'll be released to pretrial services if you post that bond.
Si se paga esa fianza, lo van a poner bajo libertad, bajo el departamento previos al juicio.
You'd have absolutely no contact with the alleged victim, with Erlinda.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, what was the name?
Erlinda.
Y que usted no puede tener absolutamente ningún tipo de contacto con Melinda.
You're not to go within 3 blocks of her residence or workplace. Do you understand that?
No puede acercarse o tiene que permanecerse alejado a 3 cuadras de donde ella viva, de su residencia y de su trabajo. ¿Entiende usted esto?
Está bien.
Yes, that's fine.
Thank you.
Gracias.
No es su fianza y este es el número de su van a tener mi equipo porque tenemos un equipo. No pagues su fianza porque si pagas la fianza para ellos no van a disfrutarle cuando tienen un bonito grande. Si pagas la fianza, ellos van a hacer
el abogado que tengo nunca me ha defendido bien, o sea, yo quería porque nunca he golpeado, nunca he traído armas. Y la empresa para agarrar papeles nomás me tiene bien posible.
Okay.
Necesito alguien que me defienda. Yo tengo mucha evidencia.
Hablen con su abogado y
Cambio de abogados.
pues sí, eso van a cambiar.
No me ayuda nada.
Sí, yo entiendo.
Your Honor, may the interpreter be excused?
It appears that that's the only one. As long as we can get in touch with you if we need you, sure.
Absolutely, Your Honor. Thank you. Have a good night. Interpreter is disconnecting.
Your Honor, I would imagine Mr. Zarate Montiel is probably still unavailable.
Is that correct, Jim?
Being putting for it to.
Correct.
Okay. Best of luck, man. Thank you. Oh, come on, take a seat. Thank you. I think this might be misdemeanors, right? All right, this is functionally under. Well, good luck. What's that? It's a misdemeanor. So it's just.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are.
Malvern Celaya. Evening.
Good evening. Mr. Salai, I have an interim complaint or citation charging you with domestic violence assault alleged to have occurred on or about March the 26th. Your next court date on this matter is June the 18th at 10 o'clock in the morning in the Marana City Court. Do you understand that you need to be present at that time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Conditions of release will include no alcohol, illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence. You're not to have contact with the alleged victim. You're not to go near her residence or workplace or the incident location. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Salaya.
Take a seat.
Miles.
What was it? I didn't understand.
You have please.
I got released?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, go take a seat. Just take a seat and go.
Good evening. I'm Judge Fade, and you, sir, are
Tyrone Miles.
Mr. Miles. I have a number of things here for you. My concerns are your failures to appear in court. What can we do to be sure that you show up in court?
Your Honor, I have a job. I work in the morning at 5, and I can promise to make my next court date.
Because you've missed several of them.
I understand, Your Honor.
All right, I have a warrant out of Casa Grande City Court. You need to be in the Casa Grande City Court on June the 2nd at 10 a.m. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
No alcohol or illegal drugs. You do not drive without a valid license. You need to get started on substance abuse assessment and treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then I have a warrant out of Pima County Justice Court. Charges from May the 3rd. They didn't turn it off. They just transferred the Casa Grande to JP. These are charges from shoplifting, and then it looks like a failure to appear in April of 2021. Then we have new charges from today. Oops, no, I take that back. Looks like May the 9th. Again, for shoplifting. Your next court date on these is going to be May the 29th at 8:30 in the morning in the Pima County Justice Court.
Okay.
Again, no alcohol or illegal drugs. You don't go back to either store involved. And again, substance abuse assessment and treatment. Thank you, Mr. Miles.
No,
Portland.
no, it was not. Still back.
Good evening.
Chris Beelan.
Mr. Beelan, I have a number of things here for you. Current charges charging you with domestic violence assault, alleged to have occurred earlier today. We'll appoint City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Your bond on this matter is going to be $750. Court date is May 28th at 1:30 in the afternoon. If you post the bond, you need to appear. If you haven't posted the bond, you'll be seen on video. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence. You need to comply with behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment. You also have an additional warrant for failing to comply petitions to revoke probation for failing to comply with requirements of Veterans Court. This will be set for the same court date and time. You also have a warrant out of Superior Court, and Superior Court will let you know when they're going to see you on that matter. Thank you.
Sorry. Who else?
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Nicholas Carrillo.
citation here from February 24th, charging you with threatening to inflict physical harm by someone via electronic messaging. And failing to appear in court.
Permission to speak, Your Honor.
If you want to, you've got a probation hold, so you're not going anywhere no matter what I do.
Oh, I was gonna ask if it was possible to be released to pay my rent, or my family's gonna lose their home. But I understand.
I can't do anything on the felony matter.
On the misdemeanor thing, Your Honor, I was on my way to court that day. I ended up getting in a car accident on Fort Lowell and Campbell. I was impacted on the right side.
That was better than 2 months ago.
I have a scar on my right side of my head. I couldn't walk for a while.
Again, that was better than 2 months ago. I will release you on these charges, but appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you because you have the other hold. Next court date's July the 18th at 9 a.m. If you're in custody, Then the public defender's office will address the matter. If you're out of custody, you need to appear. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And no contact with the alleged victims.
I understand, Your Honor.
Right, thank you.
Out the door downstairs. Edwards.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Justin Edwards.
Mr. Edwards. I have citations here charging you with domestic violence assault, domestic violence criminal damage, and 2 counts of domestic violence disorderly conduct. Alleged record on May the 13th. Your next court date on this matter is going to be June the 17th at 1:30 in the afternoon in the Tucson City Court. Do you understand that you need to be present at that time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Conditions of release include no alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no contact with Miss Ibarra or the child, except through DCS or Superior Court order. You don't go near their residence. Do you understand that?
Can we clarify what the residence is?
Her residence. I know she's no longer in the mutual residence.
Okay, that's what I was asking for clarification on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Out the door downstairs. Morales. Things are right.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
I'm Mrs. Morales.
Mr. Morales. I have quite a stack of things here for you. I have a current charges for possession of paraphernalia alleged to have occurred earlier today. I have charges from November of 2021 for criminal trespass, along with failures to appear. Charges for criminal trespass, December 30th of 2021, along with failures to appear. Charges from January 21st of 2023, criminal trespass, failing to appear. Charges for possession of paraphernalia on May 2nd of 2023. Charges for criminal trespass, possession of paraphernalia, July 12th of 2023, failure to appear. Charges for criminal trespass and possession of paraphernalia on July 21st of 2023, failures to appear. Charges for possession of paraphernalia, possession of prescription-only drugs on September 21st of 2023, failures to appear. Possession of paraphernalia and criminal trespass, September 21st of 2023, failures to appear. Possession of paraphernalia, possession of prescription-only drugs, criminal trespass, October 3rd of 2023. Again, failures to appear. Possession of paraphernalia, October 31st of 2023, failing to appear. Criminal trespass, possession of paraphernalia, December 26th of 2023, failures to appear. Charges of possession of paraphernalia, possession of prescription-only drugs, September 23rd of 2024. Theft, January 20th of this year, failing to appear in court. Possession of paraphernalia, March 12th of this year, failing to appear in court. There's 2 counts of possession of paraphernalia, 1 count of possession of prescription-only drugs, and 1 count of criminal trespass from April 1st of this year. Possession of paraphernalia, possession of prescription-only drugs on April the 17th, and failing to appear in court. Bond will be $250. City Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. No alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to go to 3730 North Oracle, 3629 North Oracle, 3602 North Oracle, 3260 North Oracle, 3567 North Oracle, 437 West Thurber, 3710 North Oracle, or 110 East Pennington. I'd suggest that you basically stay away from Oracle from about 3200 to about 3800. Next court date is May 27th at 1:45. You're still in custody. If you post the bond, then your court date is going to be June the 18th at 2 o'clock, and you need to appear. Thank you, Mr. Morales.
Wrong. So, little. Up the door.
Your Honor, it's Adele. Howie Nicholas refused.
Okay, hold on just a second. I'm still signing paperwork. Lots of pages.
Flowers. Flowers. Flowers.
Oh. Good evening. You are.
Lawyer Powers.
Ms. Powers, I've got a number of things here for you.
Yes, ma'am. I know a fine in Nogales.
Among other, several warrants out of Justice Court, warrants out of Tucson City Court.
I didn't. I know there's fines. I didn't know, but I had time to pay them. So
Well, it's a matter of appearing in court,
okay.
and you haven't been very good about that.
I'm sorry. I don't have transportation.
Well, if you can't get down to Nogales, should I hold you on a bond?
No, I'm trying to get to Nogales this week. I get paid on when my check comes in. I'm going to go down there and get my court taken care of.
Well, you're going to be given a court date. You can't just go down when it's convenient.
No, that's fine. When's the court? That's all I needed to know. The court date.
You're going to get several court dates in several different courts.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, Nogales, your court date's June the 3rd at 9 a.m. in the Nogales City
Okay.
Court. No
Yes, ma'am.
alcohol or illegal drugs.
Yes, ma'am.
Behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Going to have 2 warrants out of Pima County Justice Court. Shoplifting, criminal trespass, failures to appear. These are from May of 24. And shoplifting from October of 2023.
I didn't know about that one.
And another one that transferred over from another county. Mm-hmm. You'll see.
Wow.
And who would the assigned judge be on these? Because that's now knocked out. Well, I think I may be able to figure it out. Yeah. It's got a June 12th, 9:30 CMC, but I don't see that on the white sheet, so. So it's Judge Miller. All right, June the 12th at 9:30. You're not to go to the incident locations. And again, behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment.
Yes, ma'am.
That's in Pima County Consolidated Justice Courts downtown. And then I have files out of Tucson City Court. So I have current charges for domestic violence assault, domestic violence disorderly conduct, and possession of paraphernalia. I have charges for criminal trespass on April the 25th, failing to appear on May the 8th. And charges from December of 2023 for reckless burning and failing to appear. Your next court date on these is going to be May the 28th. That's next week, Wednesday.
Okay.
1:30 in the afternoon in the Tucson City Court.
Yes, ma'am.
Again, no alcohol, illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence.
Yes, ma'am.
2975 South Pino or 8250 East Golf Links. And again,
Okay.
start working on behavioral health and substance abuse assessments and treatment.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Power.
Wait. No.
And if you need temporary assistance for housing or other issues, check in with Transition Center on your way out of the jail.
Yes, ma'am.
Melanie, get up.
And yes, I know I give her an end date.
Howard.
You know I give her an end date. I know the rules.
Hey, we'll talk stuff. Don't even start. Howard.
That's fine. All right. So do we have multiple defendants in the courtroom now, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is addressed to everyone there in the courtroom. Good evening. I'm Judge Shayette. This is the time set for initial appearances on felony matters. If you've got misdemeanor matters, there may also be arraignments on those matters. It is the time for you to be formally advised charges against you, for me to say conditions of release in your next court date. It is not the time to talk about facts of cases or ask that charges be dismissed. Conditions of release will always include that you violate no laws, that you appear at all court dates, that you remain within the state of Arizona unless you receive permission of the court to leave the state. There may be additional conditions based on your history, your circumstances, and the events that occurred. And you, sir, your name, sir?
Alan Curtis Howard.
An interim complaint here charging you with possession of narcotics, possession of dangerous drugs, possession of paraphernalia. This occurred yesterday. Will appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. Understand that there is a parole hold. Did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
We would still ask for a steps hearing date, judge, and a bond to be set in light of that.
Just a nominal bond, Judge.
All right, the steps hearing, which is a review to see if you may qualify for a pre-indictment diversion program on this matter, is going to be on May 27th at 9. Preliminary hearing date will be May 29th at 1:30. $2,500 bond, pretrial services if the bond is posted. And behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment is available in custody or is directed by pretrial services if you're released to their custody. Other than in the course of those assessments and treatment, I'd suggest you not discuss these matters with anyone except your attorney. Thank you, Mr. Howard.
Thank you, Your Honor. Lopez.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade and you are?
Fernando Lopez.
Mr. Lopez, I have an interim complaint here charging you with domestic violence aggravated harassment. That is violation of conditions of release. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges and that either counsel wish to be heard on conditions.
Your Honor, he doesn't appear to have a felony history, but he did bond out on the misdemeanor DV case that's pending involving the same victim, I believe, back in January. And it would look like, per the interim complaint, that this is some very concerning stalking type of, behavior going on here. Looks like going on through probably about, it looks like January through March. per the interim complaint of threatening to harm the victim, following the victim, stealing her stuff, and taking off with it. So that would really be the basis for the high bond recommendation. He was already posted bond. He knows he's not supposed to have contact with her. And as soon as he gets out, he essentially begins to stalk her. So the $50,000 bond is what we're requesting.
Anything further from defense counsel?
Yes, Judge, weighing towards Mr. Lopez's release, he's a lifelong Tucsonan. He does have verified housing and third-party custody through his sister, Angelica, who lives separate from the alleged victim. Before, when he was bonded out, he didn't have the supervision of pretrial services. This will obviously give him increased supervision. He has no convictions of any type. He hasn't been convicted in the misdemeanor case. He has no felony convictions. There's no indication to me that he wouldn't make his court date should he be released. So those factors do weigh towards the release, Judge. If you're not inclined to release him, Judge, I'd ask for a much more reasonable $1,100 bond. That should assure his appearance, and any other bond would be excessive given that he is unemployed.
Preliminary hearing date is going to be May the 29th at 1:30. These appear to be violations of conditions of release, among other things. There was a failure to appear in the misdemeanor matter. So bond is $25,000. Pretrial services, if the bond is posted. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no contact with the alleged victim. Don't go within 3 blocks of her residence or workplace. And behavioral health assessment and treatment as available in custody or as directed by pretrial services if you're released to their supervision. Thank you, Mr. Lopez.
So this is your bond.
Medor.
Is it Jordan?
Hello.
Good evening, I'm Judge Taylor. You are.
Gordon Alexander, Miller. Yeah, Your Honor. I just got out of.
Hey,
I have two warrants out of Pima County Superior Court. One charged from December 6th of 2024 for criminal damage. And another one covering the dates of December 7th of 2024 through December 13th of 2024. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 counts of domestic violence, aggravated harassment, violation of conditions of release. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. Set an arraignment date for May 27th at 1:30, and did either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions?
Your Honor, the state's just requesting to essentially affirm the respective bonds. It looks like he does have some violent history, which includes a lack of compliance with conditions of violating probation, probation revocation, parole absconding, things of that nature. And typically, at least as it relates to the grand jury warrant, I'd imagine that was set that high given the nature of the allegations and the fact that grand jury warrants typically have to issue when whereabouts are unknown. So the state's requesting that both respective bonds be affirmed.
All right, with regard to the criminal damage, I'll reduce that bond to $500. No contact with alleged victims, no acts of domestic violence.
Judge, if I may be heard, sorry, I was getting more information from my client here. Mr. Medard would like to be released to the supervision of pretrial services. He was in custody on these offenses. He's never been.
They got dismissed.
He's been arrested. He's never been arrested on this. The warrant was mailed to Romero Drive, the initial appearance. He now lives on I think Sahara Parks is what I had written. He had no notice of it, Judge. He is just getting released from DOC custody today, I believe. He have a chance to just get out, I think is all he's asking.
No, it's saying the offense date is the 6th through the 13th, and I have an offense date on every one of those days. That's impossible. I was in a.
The allegation is the fact, my guess is a probably phone call from the jail. Criminal damage bond is $500. Absolutely no contact with the victim. Don't go near the victim's residence or workplace. That includes phone calls, having other people call. You understand that?
Said yes, we had it on mute.
With regard to the 7 counts of harassment, that bond will be $15,000.
A bond, Your Honor. I want out of jail. I just got out of prison today. People can only answer the phone if I call them from here and they want to answer. How can I harass anybody like that?
We're not here to discuss the facts.
That is the fact.
Bond is $15,000 on the Other charges. No contact with Ms. Haddleroot or her child. Don't go within 3 blocks of her residence or workplace. May 27th at 1:30 is preliminary hearing date.
Wait, Judge, wouldn't it be both arraignment dates? They're Superior Court warrants.
That's right. They are arraignment dates. I'm sorry. May 27th at 1:30.
Right, right.
Good evening. I'm Jane Eastern.
Go Higgins.
Sorry about that, Ralph.
Sorry, you're out of order, so I was not you personally, but your file. Mr. Higgins, I have a number of things here for you. Have a warrant out of Pima County Superior Court, possession of narcotic drug, possession of paraphernalia. These are alleged to have occurred on or about October the 10th of 2023. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. Set an arraignment date for for May 27th at 1:30. And did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions of release on these charges only?
Yes, Judge, the state's okay with bond or the amount in the warrant. He, per the report, last made contact with pretrial. It looks like quite some time ago, about a year and a half ago, back in December of 2023, failed to appear and, as the court's aware, incurred several additional new charges.
And Judge, I think just weighing towards his releases, his longevity in Tucson for 25 years.
We have additional interim complaints today.
No, I understand that, Judge. It's part of my job to just lay out, the factors that weigh towards release. If you're not inclined to release him, I would just ask for reasonable bonds.
Bond on this matter will be $500. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Pretrial services of the bond is posted on that matter. Then we have an interim complaint charging you with unlawful use of means of transportation, possession of burglary tools. These are alleged to have occurred today. Again, we'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and did either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions?
Your Honor, we're just requesting the $5,000 bond in lieu of no bond based on the on-release status for the 2023 case, the criminal history, and maxed out, scales, on both the NCA and FTA.
More reasonable bond of $1,100, Judge, given that he is homeless and unemployed. Any bond he'll be unable to pay.
Bond on this matter will be $3,500. Preliminary hearing date, May 29th at 1:30. No contact with the alleged victims. Don't go back to the incident locations. Then we have an interim complaint from February 25th of 2025. Charging with burglary in the second degree. Again, we'll appoint public defender's office, and did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions of release on this matter?
Your Honor, much of the state's argument would be the same, only that we're requesting the $10,000 in lieu of no bond, based on the more, I would say, more severity, the level of severity as it relates to the offense.
We'd just be requesting a $1,500 concurrent bond, noting what I've already laid out.
Bond on this charge will be $7,500. No contact with the alleged victims. No return to the incident location, that entire apartment complex. And again, preliminary hearing date, May 29th at 1:30. And then we have charges from July 5th of 2024. Possession of dangerous drugs, possession of narcotic drugs. This matter will get a stepped hearing set for May 27th at 9 a.m. Did either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions of release on this matter?
Your Honor, the state's okay with a nominal bond based on the other bonds that were imposed.
What I was going to ask.
Did you have something more, sir?
Nope.
Okay. Bond on this will also be $500. Then I have charges out of Tucson City Court from October 25th of 2023. Criminal trespass, possession of paraphernalia, failure to appear. Apparently there were some bicycle violations that are in default. Because you're being held on other matters, I will appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Set a review hearing date for July 18th at 9 o'clock in the morning. You'll be released on these charges. And conditions are to violate no laws, possess no alcohol or illegal drugs. If you're out of custody, you need to appear. If you're in custody, then the Public Defender's Office should be handling the matter. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Close the door. Close the door.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are
Lori Morrow.
Ms. Morrow. I have a warrant out of Pima County Superior Court charging you with possession of narcotic drug, possession of paraphernalia, as well as 2 counts of aggravated driving under the influence of intoxicating liquor or drugs, alleged to have occurred on or about the 27th of March of 2023. We'll set an arraignment date of May 27th at 1:30. Appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. Did either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions of release? Noting there is a probation violation warrant out of Maricopa County.
Nothing to add beyond that and the already listed amount in the warrant, Judge.
Judge, we'd just be asking for reasonable bonds given that probation violation warrant.
Bond on this matter will be $2,500. No alcohol and drugs, no driving without a valid license. Pretrial services supervision if you post the bond. I also have charges here out of Tucson City Court. They go back to May of 2021 for driving on a suspended license. Failing to appear. We'll appoint City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges, release you on these charges. Set a review hearing for July the 18th at 9 o'clock. I do anticipate that these charges are likely to be dismissed prior to that. Thank you, Ms. Moreau. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir.
Is Anthony Price?
Mr. Price, in a complaint charging you with being a fugitive, warrant out of Oklahoma, dated July 5th of 2024. Charges of unlawful possession of controlled drug with intent to distribute, and possessing or bringing contraband into a secure detention facility. We'll appoint legal defender's office to represent you on these charges. Set fugitive hearing for May 23rd at 2:30. And did either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions?
Your Honor, he appears to be on 2 separate federal supervisions. Appears to be out of Oklahoma. He declined the PTS interview, so I'm not really seeing any Arizona ties. He's about a little over 1,000 miles away from the demanding jurisdiction, which is concerning. So that would be, really the basis behind the $30,000 bond request, Judge.
So, Judge, we'd be asking for either his release to pretrial services and also the supervision of federal parole to make his own way up to Oklahoma. These charges came from Oklahoma, and then he was transferred to a federal facility down here. So he's not evading the court's jurisdiction by being in Arizona. He just got released from not from DOC, but from the Bureau of Prisons today. He does have support. His spouse Tiffany verified that that he is a resident of Oklahoma, and she can find him employment there. She's also willing to assume third-party custody, provide him with transportation to that court date. So I'm sure, there's nothing holding Mr. Price here, but there's everything trying to get him back to Oklahoma. If you're not inclined to release him, Judge, if you think he should have some skin in the game, I would ask for a much more reasonable bond of $1,100, which, should he post, will give him sufficient reason to make his own way to Oklahoma.
Bond will be $15,000. Pretrial services supervision if you post the bond between now and the 23rd. But again, your court date is on Friday, so just a few days away at 2:30.
Oh.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Price.
And Judge, you did say the legal defender was appointed?
I did.
Okay, sorry about that, Judge. Cutting out over on my end.
Understand.
What's the court date on Friday?
That's the way to answer it.
Oh, sorry.
You'll have someone from the LT talk to. I can do this. It's all right. Whatever. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Out the door downstairs.
No, at all.
That's all I have.
All right, appreciate you, Judge. Thanks, Peter.
All right,